are talking about the luxury magazine submission form today. So, as you may have seen about a month ago, the form opened for listings for the new edition of the luxury magazine for print and digital. And we want to spend some time today going over how to submit a listing, how an agent can submit a listing, how you can help your agents submit a listing, and then some guidelines for submission. So, CJ, I'm going to make you a co-host. I might have to just make you actual host later. So I'll leave it as is for now. But I'm going to kind of show you guys the Schmidt Resources part of it, and then CJ is going to take it from there. So, like we said, the luxury magazine is the 2021-2022 edition is coming soon. The form is open for a while now and will continue to stay open for another 30 days or so, I believe. And what I want to show you is where you can access that within Schmidt Resources. So first and foremost, it is in Blue Matters Monday every Monday. So when you get that email, there is a section right in the body of that newsletter to link you to the form to purchase a listing. However, you can also go straight to Schmidt Resources, go to any of your regions. I'm going to click on Florida, and go to your global luxury square. It is in the first row for every region. And you'll see the banner right there. Add your listings to the 2021-2022 Digital Luxury Edition. So it's the very first thing you'll see when you go to this site. And we're going to click on that. And this here, where it's going to take you, is sort of the main hub page. So there's 3 main sections. 2 of them, they're all important, obviously. This middle one here is what we're going to talk about right now. So, we're going to skim over that. But the first thing I want to show you is the first thing on this page is the magazine distribution and media kit. So if you click on that, what you're going to see is a 2-page PDF. You can print it, you can download it and print it. You can share it digitally. And it basically just gives an overview for our agents on the magazine itself. Obviously the company, our little kind of company bio there. And then on the second page, you're going to see a lot of the information on the magazine. How much it costs per page, the sizes of the page, what you can, not only the prices, but down here you've got the specs. So, hey, a half page is 3 photos of a listing, full page is 4, 2 pages 6, etc. And then some info on the distribution of the magazine. So this is the kind of stuff that the agents will definitely care about, that they ask a lot about. How does this get sent out? How many magazines do we print? Stuff like that. So this is just a quick kind of 1-2 page document that covers all of that stuff. Keeping in mind, and CJ will talk about this a bit more, but keeping in mind that if you purchase a page in the magazine or a listing in the magazine, that spot is that agent's listing for the next 12 months. So obviously that's what's going to be in the print version, but if that listing sells, we can put a sold banner there. We can replace that with another luxury listing that they get. The digital version is updated every month for our digital campaigns that we do on social and digital media, and of course to a high network email database of over 12,000 people. So this document here, again, it's right across the top of the page. It is also in in Blue Matters Monday. There's a link directly to that as well. So if an agent wants to purchase a listing in the magazine, they're going to go here, and they're going to choose. If they scroll down, you're going to see it's set up like a store. They're going to choose what they're looking for: quarter page, half page, full page, 2-page spread. Whichever one they click on, let's just do half page for now. You're going to have to click half page again. It does make you ask twice for the listing size. One thing we've added, however, is the listing type. Basically, if an agent has a listing in the magazine from 2020 to 2021, the previous edition, and they want to keep that for the next edition, they can select renewed listing and give that listing's information, and that will let CJ know this is a listing that I'm rolling over, that I'm paying for another year. Otherwise, you're going to click new listing, and you're going to click add to cart, and then you're going to fill out the information. So all of this information is necessary for the team to put this magazine together. And I'm sure this goes without saying, but this magazine is a huge undertaking every year. And CJ leads the charge on it and does an amazing job of it. And the more info we can supply her and the team on the front end in the beginning, the quicker and smoother the process goes. So this info here is very basic listing information. So the address of the home, the property description, which is the marketing remarks. You can copy and paste that right from the listing. Just that short paragraph or two. The price, the link to the listing. Please keep in mind, just like I say the same with the virtual open house and with the luxury home of the week. Please do not give MLS links to these listings, because MLS links expire depending on the MLS, sometimes within a week, sometimes within 30 days. And if CJ goes to work on this and the link's dead, it creates just a whole layer there. So if you can provide the link from ColdwellBanker.com, the luxury website, the agent's Moxie site, something that will stay there and not expire, that will help us all greatly. And then, of course, name, phone number, and email. So again, obviously this stuff is important, email and phone number specifically, so that the agent knows, or so that CJ and the team know who to reach out to if there's an issue, if they need more information. So you fill it all out, you click add to cart, and then you'll be able to check out. I believe I have one in my cart from earlier because I was testing it. Yep. So you'll see I've got a half page here. I've got all the info, and then I would simply click check out, and I would do just that. I would check out and purchase the magazine, and that order goes straight through to CJ, where she will start documenting that info. So I see some chats come through. Is there still a 225 character max? CJ, I believe the answer is yes.
Each listing, when you go to check out on the store, each one lists the max number of characters for that size.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. No, that makes sense. Yes. So let me go back a page here, and then Michelle Cruz says, "What if the price changes between signing up and publication? Does an agent have to update CJ?" Yes, I would do that, and you can see that right here, Jennifer. To answer, you can see description word count 125 max. Yeah, I think it would be nice, Michelle, if the agent could reach out and let CJ know, especially because what could happen is she clicks on the link and sees the price in the form is different than the price on the site, just to make sure that is the same. Debbie, sorry, CJ.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
I'm just clearing my throat.
Okay. Debbie asks, what if
that wasn't like a secret, like, let me talk.
Yeah, okay, good. If it is, just say so. You can just be blunt and call me out. What if my agent wants the cover? That's a great question. In terms of the cover of the company edition, that is something that we internally choose each month for the digital version. So if you go to Coldwell Banker, sorry if it's spelled Coldwell, right? Luxurymagazine.com, we internally as a team choose which listing will be on the cover from month to month. Now, an agent can, if you go back to this page here, you can see an agent can order a custom cover, which has a banner, a listing of their choosing, and their contact info. That is, and I think it says it right here on the form, it is a $500 upfront fee because it's a whole new production line within the production of the magazine, and it's $3 per printed magazine. So if this is something you choose, you can put this into your cart. You can add it here, and then Tracy will reach out down the road and ask you how many copies do you want, and you'll be charged for the quantity after the fact. Suzanne, everything is selling as soon as it's listed. So what if it goes pending? Again, CJ, I would imagine that the best answer is just to reach out to you directly if that happens after the listing goes live or after it's submitted.
So a couple of different points. Obviously, everything is going super quickly right now. So if they know that they want a spot, then I would have them purchase it, maybe waiting closer till the deadline, till the form is closing, if that's something that they're concerned about. Obviously, the luxury magazine is a little bit different than our other residential magazines, where they don't go quite as quickly generally. But if that's something they're worried about, I would say either hold off until a little bit closer to the deadline, and then if it is something that sold or is pending, then we will add a little tag to it in the magazine. So within the magazine, it will say that it's sold. And then if they wanted to, say it sold between the time that they advertised it, the time that they bought the listing, and when we, when it comes to production, gets printed and mailed out and everything, if it gets sold somewhere in that timeline for the next month's digital magazine, they would be able to swap it out for a different listing if they have a different one. So they would just need to email changes to me by the 20th of that month, and then for the next month's digital edition, I could get them, updated with a listing that hasn't sold yet or that's maybe pending or whatever they want. So hopefully that answers that question.
I think so.
Okay.
And if not, guys, again, keep writing in the chat. This is exactly why we wanted to do this first and third to answer these questions.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Can I butt in really quick?
Of course.
I'm just looking through them too. So Suzanne, to answer your question, I read the word enter as I said answer. That didn't come out right. To answer your question, if it does sold or if there are any changes, if they want to take it out of the magazine or whatever it is at any point throughout the year, you just send me an email. Have the subject line luxury magazine or whatever and tell me what listing it is. And then I can get that updated. So it's just a quick email or give me a call, either one. And then the last question, kind of going back to the if they want the cover that Debbie asked about. If they want, obviously the custom cover is an option with this. If they want their photo to be featured on the print covers, I would just suggest to them that they get really beautiful photography, because that's how that's what we base it off of. Whatever looks really nice on the cover of it. So, so that's, incentive to have them get really nice, beautiful photography for it. So, but that's how we choose. So.
Awesome.
Let's see. Question from Jennifer. Our inventory is low, so can an agent put in a sold to hold a spot for future summer listings? Yeah, absolutely. You just tell me that it's sold and I'll mark it with that banner, and then when they have a new listing, they can plop it out. We can do a switch. So, good question.
Well, I think honestly at that point, this is the extent of my screen share. I might stop CJ and kind of give the reins over to you. Do you need to screen share, or do you just need to chat?
Nope, just chat. I just had
cool.
a couple of points. I don't think I need to actually share anything, but I'll think if I do. When do we need to submit by? That will be, the form closes on June 1st. So I think by May 31st. And then July 4th is around the time that that the magazine will be finished, will be in production. So just a couple of other points. I know that the brand has that new threshold tool. Actually, I don't know if it's a new threshold tool, but
the tool's not. Yeah, the thresholds are new. Yeah.
Okay, the thresholds are new. So, for the purposes of our magazine, we are going to allow anything that's 500,000 and above. So even if in your zip code the threshold is 800,000, anybody over 500,000 can be featured in this magazine if they want to. We are also going to accept like really nice high-end commercial listings if you want. Those have to be quality controlled and run by Tracy Bacigalupi first. So I would do that before purchasing the spot. Just make sure that she's okay with that going in there. And then what else do we have? Okay, so we went over pricing. We did talk about having, so that ad space that they purchase is theirs for the full year. So they can either keep that listing in that spot for the full year, or if they want, we will have 11 additional editions throughout the rest of the year, and then they can swap out once a month if they wanted to through then. Sorry, question, Jennifer. Anticipated delivery, I feel like last year it was like mid-August. I'm not 100% positive on that. JD, do you happen to remember?
I don't off the top of my head. No, I'm sorry.
Delivery. I feel like it was early August or mid-August.
And I do believe there may have been some COVID delays in production with stuff. So I'd be cautious to give an answer on that.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, because we had the whole paper order production, all of that was an issue last year. So, I can't say for sure on that.
But as we know, obviously, we will continue to communicate that. So once it goes to print, once we get an ETA, we'll make sure to start telling people that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's see. Oh, another thing, if an agent has a listing that's sold and they want to pull it from the magazine, I can hold that spot for them. So if they, decide they don't want to have a sold listing in the magazine for 6 months and they are anticipating getting another listing that they want to put in there, they can shoot me an email and say, hey, can you pull this and just save my spot? That way they don't have to, obviously they don't have to order and pay for another spot, but I can remove that and then put one in later. I know we have a couple of people who do that. Let's see what else. There can only be, I know this probably doesn't need to be said, but just in case, there can only be one listing per ad space. So an agent can't purchase a full page ad and use it for 4 quarter page ads. So just in case we need to say that. Anybody else have questions right now? I feel like I'm just like on.
No, this is it's like
good?
lightning
Okay.
round.
Okay. So as far as photos, photos are the only thing that we couldn't put into the submission form. So photos will have to be either emailed to me or sent through Dropbox, WeTransfer, or a Google Drive. The only thing I would say is with a Google Drive, if they have quite a few of them, I would prefer that they're not all individual links, just so I don't have to go in and click download on each of them. Not a huge deal if that's how they do it, but it just makes my life a little bit easier. Otherwise, Dropbox, WeTransfer, Google Drive, those are all fine. And then the files themselves, the photos themselves, will need to be named with the property address and then underscore and then whatever number. So if they have 6 photos, have them number or have them name the one that they want the biggest photo _1 and then the following photo _2, just so I know exactly how they want them to be laid out. If they don't have numbers on them, then I'm just gonna kind of have to guess.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, I know in the past we've gotten here's 30 images to choose from. I would rather know what they want than have to kind of assume. So if they can give me only what they need, it doesn't bog down my process. If it's labeled by what they want, then I'm gonna, do what they want. Let's see. Other things. These can be, I think we touched on this, but these can be sold, pending, or new listings. I did have an agent call me earlier with a question. She said she was going through the submission tool and saw that she could choose the size of her ad and then could choose renewed listing or new listing. That doesn't mean, a new listing doesn't mean not sold. A new listing just means it hasn't been in the magazine before. So renewed is just, I don't want to have to send all of my pictures and all of my text again, so I'm going to choose this option. But new listing on the order form can be a sold listing. So in case that question comes up. Let's see. Oh, if they are wondering if their purchase was successful, they will get confirmation once they check out on the store. They will get an email confirmation and a receipt from the store. So that will, that's their telltale sign that they've successfully ordered this, successfully submitted, and then they'll just need to send me the pictures. Couple other things. If an agent has a sold property and they represented the buyer, they will need to get permission from the oh my gosh, Ginger, I miss you too. If they are representing the buyer, then they need to get permission from the seller or the seller's agent to use those photos. This is just going to be a
Scout's honor.
We trust that you are being serious that you're being honest, that you've gotten permission. I'm gonna trust that nobody's gonna submit photos that they don't have permission to use.
This has sort of become a bigger thing in the past year, guys. I've seen a lot of agents kind of get dinged on this sort of stuff. If our agent brought the buyer, we don't have the rights to those photos because they were done by the seller. Generally, the selling agent and their vendor. So we can't just go, or when our agents can't just go on the MLS, download 2 or 3 photos and assume that that's okay. So our agents will need to ask permission from the selling agent to use those photos. We aren't going to, if they submit it, we're not going to ask for written proof or anything like that. But if there is a kerfuffle, if something happens, it's the agent's responsibility to have that permission. So this is just something we've seen as a marketing group the past, like I said, probably the past even 8 to 10 months. It's become more and more of a thing that other agents are reaching out about or reporting agents for. So just something to keep. And this doesn't just go for the magazine. It does go for social media and other stuff as well. But in this context, we wanted to make sure we discussed it.
Yeah, it's been something that with everything moving so quickly and everything being so competitive, agents from all over are more apt to report their fellow agents because everything is so competitive. So we just want to do everything that we can on our end to mitigate any risk there. So yeah. Okay, let's see. The last thing. One point that this is something that I ran into recently, so I just thought I'd add this. Throughout the year, every month I choose a new cover to go on the digital edition of the magazine. And of course, when the magazine first comes out, everybody's, they're raring to go and they want to get their information in there and everything. But a lot of them kind of drop off after a while. They're not, they don't keep up with letting me know that it's sold or all of that kind of stuff. But when I choose a listing for the cover, I do want to make sure that it's still a live listing so that when somebody goes to, when they click on that link in the digital magazine, it goes to something that's live. So just having your agents throughout the year let me know if something's sold, if they want to swap it out for something else so that they're getting their money's worth for it. That's super helpful and obviously keeps the magazine just more up to date. It's kind of a bummer when I go through and I pick a couple of really gorgeous photos and they all sold months and months ago. And obviously, those agents aren't really, they're still getting the advertising from having a beautiful listing in a high-end magazine, but they could be advertising more current things if they have them. So that's just one thing that I would consider and keep them up to date on.
Ginger asked, what is the criteria for choosing a front page? I think, to be honest, it's high res, it's good photography, and it's I'd say colorful. We want them to look bright and vibrant, and then also seasonal. If you looked at the one we had up earlier, the doors were open, it looked nice and springy. There's not this is not something we ever promise an agent or we'll say you will get this cover. It's something that we just decide internally.
Yep, I would just say and sometimes there are things that I'm like, oh, that's a gorgeous photo, I'd love to feature that on the cover, but by the time it gets to be the full cover size, it just is super low res and I can't use it. So beautiful photography, high res images.
An agent can request it, Ginger, but we will never promise to honor that because we had it might not be the most beautiful photo. It might not be someone it might not fit the season. It's the same with the luxury home of the week, right? You can submit. That just doesn't mean that you're going to be. It doesn't mean you're going to get it. Exactly. Right. Basically.
Yep. Yeah, they can. They're more than welcome to say, "Hey, I'd love to see this on the cover."
Yeah.
It could be a great photo, and I could love it on the cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Or we could love it on the cover, but sometimes it's just, So, I think that's all I have. Does anybody else have any questions? No. Katie, anything?
No, I think as you guys have questions, if anything more comes up, reach out to CJ or Tracy. You can always reach out to me, but especially with this stuff, I will probably normally redirect you to CJ or Tracy. But yeah, as you guys have questions, just reach out. Remember, the form's open through May 31st. Wow, it is hard to talk. It closes on June 1st. It's open through the 31st. And just go right through Blue Matters Monday or Schmidt Resources to submit.
Yep.
Um,
If you guys have any other questions at any point before it closes or while, when it closes, you're welcome to give me a call or email me or anything.